Good morning, pals. Welcome back to 100 Miles, 100 Days. We're outside again at Champoeg State Park today. I'm Tanya. That's my pal Chris. And we're just going to take a walk and for about a mile, because that's what we do. And yeah, come along with us. Let's take a walk. So Champoeg has a very long history, and we'll talk about it as we walk today.
Basically the birthplace of Oregon. Alrighty.
You ready for this, pals? Come on, everybody. Here we go.
This park brings back many memories.
It's a beautiful spot. There's so much of it.
Right?
You can see here where the high water mark of 1861, the flood of 1861 reached, which is pretty crazy. Considering that the river is all the way down there. Chickadee. More stairs today. So many ways to choose.
Left.
Left it is. It is another beautiful yet unwarm day.
Alarmingly cold.
Here in January.
Yeah. No surprise.
Of Oregon. In January of Oregon.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. So about 20 years ago, give or take, a group of us came out here. We were geocaching enthusiasts. We weren't really an assembled group yet, but put the call out that the park needed help with eradication of English ivy. So we actually took care of this. It was 20, 30 people, and we got rid of all the English ivy by pulling, by breaking. We cleaned this up. I've got some great pictures. I'd be kind of curious as to see the before and after. But it was the start of our yearly pilgrimage to this park. You know, we took care of this, and every year we try to do something for the park. You know, we'd work with the rangers and we'd clean up something, but also at night we'd have some great geocaching event, and we'd rent all the yurts, rent all the camping spots. And so it was a great weekend, and we did that for many years, had many different events happening, and made some lifelong friends. I always find it really great to come out here and see what's changed and what hasn't changed. What has changed is this stupid ivy has come back.
So one of the interesting things about this state park is that this is where the seat of government kind of started for Oregon before it was a state. And it was occupied by Native Americans before it became a provisional government. And then about 6 years later became a state. But this land is where that happened for Oregon. So it's pretty interesting stuff.
Oh, this thing's way paved. I've never even been on that side over there. Yeah. 1 mile.
Woo! Good job, pals.
Yeah, a lovely day for a walk.
I thought that was a spider, but it was just a piece of moss.
Same thing. Well, what are your thoughts on this hike?
It's actually really cool that it's paved, and it probably cuts down on the amount of time that they have to spend with trail maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's still very rugged looking, and like when you first pave something it doesn't fit right in, but now it's got a lot of moss on it, and it feels like it belongs here now. So
Everything in Oregon has moss on it.
everything, including you, if you stay in one place too long. Chipmunk.
Isn't that cool? Moss. Ferns.
Moss and ferns everywhere you look.
Yeah, all my shots are going up trees. So what's the Disney angle?
Well, I was actually just going to ask you about how long you have been having this love affair with Champoeg State Park.
I wouldn't call it a love affair. It's more of a platonic friendship. But Champoeg has everything I look for in a park. It has beauty, it has quiet, it has nature, it has history, both for the state of Oregon and for me. I should show you some videos of some of the kooky stuff that we've done here. And you were part of a lot of it.
I was part of some of it, yeah.
Yeah. Just getting a bunch of nerds here, safe from society, and let them loose. Dress up like a crazy thing and run around the campground.
So how did you find Champoeg for the first time?
So as I mentioned earlier, that ivy pulling, first time I became familiar with the ivy pulling, and the state park, I didn't live where I currently live. I lived somewhere else at the time. I really liked it. So the following year, I set up a repeat event here.
So was the ivy pulling, you joined other people here at the park?
I did, yes.
Okay.
It was Maps Are Us. And I enjoyed it so much. I'm like, well, I want to do that again. So with the same idea of helping the park, we came back, and then I thought I wanted to try and build an event. Now at the time, this wasn't really common. So I built an event out of my old sprinkler system. And what it was is that I took all the sprinkler tubes and everything. I was about to throw them away. What I did is I built one of those hangman things. It's like this pole that went up and over and down. It held on to this little Chinese takeout box, and it had a final clue in there. And I hung it out over this big fire. And I stoked this fire, and that takeout box was held by a string that was inside this tube that came out to this timer. And I built it so the timer you set it off for 1 hour, and at the end of 1 hour, it would cut that string. The Chinese box would go into the fire, and they couldn't find the coordinates for the final treat. So I got everybody together at one of the campsites, showed them this weird apparatus, and said, "You have 1 hour to solve the puzzles." And I gave them coordinates to things that I've hidden out in this park.
And so that was an extension of geocaching.
Yeah, it was one of the first events, if not the, because I've always liked team building events. So they raced around the park.
So when you say one of the first events, you mean one of the first events that you did at Champoeg, or one of the first events
with geocaching
of geocaching ever?
I'm going to say I've not found any earlier events than mine.
Do you remember what year you did that?
Nope. I just know that the ivy wasn't there at the time.
And now it's back.
Now it's back, and that's an old trail there. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it was a long time ago, and, you know, long story short, they got all the clues. They were able to stop the timer. They got the prize box, the takeout box, before it got cut and thrown into the fire. And the final coordinates were my little truck. And inside my truck were all the makings for s'mores that we all gathered around that fire and make s'mores. I got to tell you, that was the start of something quite incredible.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, it turned into an event for the last...
Gosh, it's still going on.
Yeah, we're not involved in it anymore.
Yeah.
But the torch has been taken up, and it still exists to this day.
Yeah.
Of course, they don't do the park cleanup anymore because...
Yeah, we got kind of yelled at. Not yelled at. We were just too loud. So then we got yelled at.
But didn't they tell us at some point that the trail maintenance was not something that public people could do anymore?
Yeah, you had to have that was liability, and I understand their point.
Sure.
It's kind of a bummer. But, you know, things happen, and we did our part when we could, because this really is quite a spectacular park.
Yeah, it is.
There are yurts here, there are campsites, there are cabins, there's frisbee golf, there's history, as we've seen. On this trip, we're only scratching just the surface. There's amazing bike trails here, in a hilarious town nearby called Buttville.
That's Butteville.
Oh, silly me.
All right, pals, I forgot to record an outro today, so you get a voiceover instead. Thanks for coming along on another 100 miles, 100 days. Hope to see you back here again tomorrow, and have a great day. Bye, pals. Oh, we got to do my
Oh,
come on everybody, here we go thing, but
okay. Is that you?
yeah, I started a game I shouldn't have been. It was just in my pocket. Okay, should be tracking on you.
Okay.
It's a Bigfoot.
Big feet.